In the phase 3, we will do endometrial biopsies at the baseline in 12 weeks to get a definitive uterine safety. In the phase 2, we did the transvaginal ultrasound and did endometrial biopsies only on the patients that had bleeding or changes in endometrial lining thickness at the end of the study. In order to mitigate the placebo effect, we want to have the effect of regression to the mean by giving the women 2 baseline diaries. So in order to be eligible for the trial, they have to have 50 or more moderate to severe weeks. They have 45 and they don't feel well and they want to be on a trial, they may fudge and make it 50. But then if you give them a second one, generally you see a regression to the mean. That has not been done in hot flash trials before, but it's been done in pain, blood pressure, and other trials that you look both at objective and subjective measures. And it seems like when you administer those 2 baseline diaries, you actually get a lower placebo effect. The other difference is, of course, we are looking at the moderate to severe hot flashes and not all hot flashes as we viewed in the phase 2. So all in all, the changes are not dramatic between the phase 2 and the phase 3, and we think that we will capture positive data. The other thing that was really a question addressed by the FDA is they said that they don't know what is clinically meaningful. Estrogen has been used for so long at the higher doses, and as we said, it's about 70 to 80% reduction in the menopausal hot flashes. But now only the lower dose are administered per FDA guidance, and they have 60% reduction. But they don't know that that's clinically meaningful. So they want you to do their marketing analysis whether that is an appropriate clinical effect. So we propose to the FDA to look at an odds ratio or a responder analysis of the difference between the number of patients that get that kind of response compared to the placebo. So in the phase 2, and this is actual data from the phase 2, we asked a question that was very simple. It's a yes or no answer, where you satisfied enough with the study medication that you would like to continue taking it for hot flashes. And as you can see, there is a linear increase in the desire to continue, with 77% of the patients saying, yes, we would like to continue if they had 60% reduction in hot flashes. And that is still when they're blinded. They don't know whether they took drug or placebo. And then we looked at the odds ratio of how much of it was delivered by drug versus placebo. And you can see that it's 2.4 times greater chance that you will get that effect from the drug and not from the placebo with a p-value of 0.02. So in the phase 3, we will conduct the same. We will ask the same because this is really anchored in the woman's desire as to what is a clinically meaningful effect. The other interesting thing is that you can see that the line flattens between 60 and 80% and only increases again, the satisfaction increases again at 80% reduction. So saying that really between 60 and 80% there is not a dramatic difference in how women feel in relation to wanting to take that drug or not. So that's also an interesting effect. So this is something that you guys probably know. At the peak of sales, Premarin was selling 2.1 billion in the U.S., and that was at $1 a day, a very old drug, 60-year-old drug. Branded drug will have a much higher price, around $5 a day. And with that, just capturing the same market that they had, you're talking about a potential of 10 billion. And that means only a penetration of about 6 to 8% of the population. With 2% of the population, you're over $1 billion drug. Just to give you another idea, the number of prescriptions for estrogens were 90 million a year, comparing to 24 million for Lipitor. So you're talking about a drug that has a massive commercial opportunity, number one, because the competition has known risk, and number two, because there's really no alternative. and we are really at the forefront with practically only Serrada, the gabapentin, being the other potential competitor. Bionovo has a large pipeline. We are focusing on Minerva. We just raised approximately $30 million last month to cover the cost of this study, but we have other drugs that we are discussing with potential partners to have development. Those are in the area of breast cancer as well as other drugs for women's health, from the quality of life point of view, with Ciala for vaginal atrophy. We own all our patents. We owe nobody on the patents, and we have patents that are issued that are covering Minerva as well as BVL until 2026. If all goes well and we get the drug approved, it should be approved around 2015, so we have sufficient amount of time, at least for the first patent, although we have many other patents from other families that protect the drug for much longer duration. We try to keep the company really focused and lean. As you can see, the management team is consisting only of 3 people. The board is only 5 people. The board is very diverse in its competence, with George being a regulatory guy in large pharma who understands really what is required for discussing with regulatory agencies. Lou has been both a CEO and a CFO of several biotech companies and addressed a lot of the development and financial issues. And John, being a scientist and an entrepreneur, can really address a lot of the development of the drug. I think this is sufficient for now. I have an extra minute. We can open it to questions and answers.